Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhairagale, ni hao, chunashumme, washmale. Ohai gunzaimas, guten Morgen, hola, boyo, privyet, kaifa hal? Hale shubha chatore, ahlan wasar marhaba. Buna mucho gracias, swabi, balli kare aaya. Hosh galde nanayo sayo, khuy amora, chi vato, chi haljud, kalimera, khairutan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, with me, I'm very lucky that I've been joined by my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Haja Satti. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan. We hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Haja, Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much, Jazakallah khair Shahzad, for introducing, because just as I left my house to come from my office, I was very happy about the fact that sun was shining and I can feel the warmth of the sun rays. But as soon as I crossed, I think a mile from my house, I could feel such an intense and a thin blanket of the fog that was engulfing the entire expressway. But as I move forward, then I find that that fog is lifting away, and I think this is very interesting how the city expresses itself in the airy ways, especially with the variation in the weather patterns. And Islamabad is famous for, you know, in one particular patch, if the rain is happening, in another particular patch there is no rain and there will be a very bright sunshine. But this is how we love our city, Islamabad, because it is one of the beautiful, clean and green city, and this greenery, this beauty of the nature makes us Islamabad very heartwarming. But obviously we hope and pray that we get to see the face of the rain soon, because it has been many months since its last rain, right? And we don't like this very thick blanket of the fog which is surrounding everywhere. And especially for the kids who have to commute on the motorbikes, it's very heart-wrenching to see them sitting there and I mean inhaling all of the very cold mist that is surrounding that motorbike, and it's very, very cold.
Exactly. And in addition to this, obviously, you know, where you've actually mentioned about rain, it's been a while that we've had pakoras and samosas, and you kind of get that feel and vibe of winter rain as well.
Yeah, even if we do have the rain, you know, you never offered us pakoras and samosas. You know, what are you talking about?
I never knew that it was going to come down to me. But this time around, inshallah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the promise of national television. Whenever it's going to rain, you know, I'll make sure that I'm going to bring pakoras for you or order some for you as well.
Okay, I hope that you're able to keep your words.
Inshallah. Pakora, no problem. Chocolates, no problem. Okay, so I'll definitely make sure that I do that as well. But in addition to this, there's one more thing which I would love to mention, and that is that, you know, so I've been craving for the sun. See, I've always been that person, you know, who loves sunlight quite a lot as well. And unfortunately, if I'm unable to see the sun during the day, I do not really feel as if I've had a good day as well, unfortunately.
Because it releases the endorphins, that's a more natural process.
Exactly, and it actually kind of helps you, you know, do your things as well. You feel a little more comfortable, and eventually it comes down to me and my mother sitting on a terrace or a rooftop and having, you know, some citrus. I think that's one thing that we've always loved to do as well, with a little bit of chaat masala or with a little bit of, you know, black salt. I don't know, kale namak or kya kehte hain. Black pepper. Oh, but that's kali mirche. Yeah, that's kali mirche. Kala namak is different. Yeah. So it's okay, you know, whatever way, because of the fact that, you know, ever since we were growing up, you know, this is one national hobby that me and my mother have developed together, and we socialize on that. Unfortunately, there's been no sun lately, but there's a lot of oranges, citrus. Well, first of all, you know, how many different types of citrus do you know exist?
Okay, so according to my research, I just checked it out. So Pakistan is producing, I think, more than 40 types of the citrus. I'm not pretty sure about their names, but there's blood orange, there is citrus, there is kinnu, there's fruiter, and I am at the loss for the words for the other types of the names, because
Valencia, there's some type which we call the Valencia orange as well. I was like, yeah, wow, this is coming. And
I think it's very captivating the way you look at it, because it is very bright orange, and it captivates us, because when you look at the citrus, you know, you certainly are reminded of the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And like you mentioned, that we are sitting on our terrace, on our balconies, and we are bonding with the mother. So it's a whole different vibe, right? We are bonding with our family, we are discussing the family issues or maybe the gossips. But we will talk about the citrus and the citrus culture, particularly in the Pakistan, and how it gives us a different vibes to spend our winters here. But our team has made a wonderful package, so why not look at it, and then we will discuss the citrus culture and the types of citrus.
There's this festival which is taking place, so we will be talking about that as well. Let's take a good look.
University of Sargodha, in collaboration with Comstech, inaugurated the two-day Sargodha Citrus Fest in Islamabad. 45 types of citrus are on display in the fest. Diplomats from Sudan, Yemen, Iran, Azerbaijan, Palestine, Kyrgyzstan, Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, Kenya, and Russia participated in the inaugural ceremony. The Vice Chancellor of Sargodha University, Professor Dr. Kaser Abbas, welcomed the participants of the inaugural ceremony. Talking to PTV World, Dr. Kaser Abbas said more citrus types will be showcased in the next year festival.
The objective of this main festival is to introduce our citrus product to different countries. Conducting in Islamabad is the main purpose to invite diplomats from different countries and introduce our varieties of citrus that are being produced by Sargodha region particularly. And the University of Sargodha, as हमारा जो role बनता है, is to promote actually the relationship between academia and stakeholders and the growers and different exporters and importers. So we are trying, because you know Sargodha University has a research center in citrus production, and we are conducting research for different varieties, and we are providing feedback to our citrus growers. I think this is an important step. Okay, we brought our citrus products and varieties to Islamabad to introduce the international community about our products.
Professor Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry, Coordinator General Comstech, said the University of Sargodha is playing a very important role, being the member of Comstech Consortium of Excellence, and has offered fellowships to the students from OIC states, and many scholars have been placed in the University of Sargodha. Professor Dr. Irfanullah, citrus fruit expert, gave a comprehensive presentation on the nutritional importance of the citrus fruit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that was a report of the festival, which is actually taking place at the Comstech University. It's a joint venture in between the University of Sargodha and Comstech. What is the purpose of such a festival is something which we will be talking about today. And while we were talking about different types, well, I certainly cannot name the all 45 different types, but there are groups. And the groups happen to be sweet oranges, mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, and lime. And ladies and gentlemen, the best part is that all provinces of Pakistan can actually produce oranges. I think that's the best part as well, and people should take advantage of it. But what are the universities up to with this festival is something that we will be discussing today. We're very lucky that we've been joined by the Vice Chancellor, University of Sargodha, happens to be Professor Dr. Kaser Abbas. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Wa alaikum salam. Good morning. How are you?
Absolutely perfect, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful
Thank you for inviting me
here. And this is for the very first time that I came to know that universities are actually conducting such citrus festivals. And, you know, it's overwhelming to know, first of all. So let's talk about this festival. Whose brainchild is it and why is it taking place?
Thank you so much for inviting me here. I think it's very important that we should be highlighting this citrus and citrus festival and citrus related products in Pakistan. You know, this festival is first time in Islamabad that we are conducting this. It was happening in Sargodha sometimes and from different chambers and other stakeholders. But what we thought that why not the market is actually if we want to export it, so we need to showcase in Islamabad. If we should introduce it to the diplomats and foreigners, other parties. So that was one of the objective. And yesterday in the opening ceremony, and I think there were 45. There are 45 varieties, and there are by 40 plus diplomats who are from different countries who visited actually and witnessed, and they took a lot of interest in different varieties. Not only varieties we brought here, but actually there are the other people who are producing citrus-related products. They also displayed different products which they are producing. And they also took very interest, and they want to.
So when we talk about the other products as well, and you know, for all of those ambassadors to kind of take interest, number one, obviously in a lot of European and Western countries, we have seen that, you know, that they might be able to grow the fruit, but it does not taste that way. You know, it's very bland, you know, so there's hardly any taste. You eat mangoes, there's hardly any taste. So Pakistan, I think, is blessed with such agricultural land where, you know, the fruits are really yummy. I think there's no other word to that. But sir, when we talk about other products related to citrus, are we trying to say juices? Are we trying to say
juices, jams, and
pickles,
with cakes also.
Cake,
yes, and then the dry just pieces of this. So that were wonderful, I think, and they took a lot of interest in that. That was one of the objective, and you know, and the other objective was just to introduce and highlight our product, because you know, in Pakistan, as she very rightly said, in Pakistan all provinces are producing citrus, but Punjab is producing, you know, how much is 95%. And out of 95, 75% is being produced in Sargodha. So that is the purpose we are highlighting. And secondly, why universities are involved in it. You know, university, we have an agriculture college in our university, and we have this horticulture department there. And recently, we have established Citrus Study Center with the support and collaboration of Export Development Fund.
That's wonderful.
Actually, what we are doing that we would like to help the grower of this region, that we would like to bring new varieties of citrus. And inshallah, we have promised to our growers, next year you will be, inshallah, you have 3-4 more varieties.
We already have 45 varieties. How many more do we need?
I think it's wonderful to
actually,
have more varieties. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think so fruits are also not just the particular produce of a particular area. They are also the cultural and identity markers, right? So for example, we take a lot of pride being a Pakistani that mango is the king of the fruit, and Pakistan has wonderful taste of the mango, right? And especially in the winters, Pakistan has the variety of citrus. And I think it was Kinnu, which is a totally a Pakistani produce, because it was created in the Arid University in Faisalabad, and we're very proud of that particular produce because it is a wonderful fruit. And like Shahzad mentioned, our winters are not incomplete without the Kinnu in the first place. So, sir, let's talk about when you talk about the collaboration and the universities which are undertaking this research. So, I mean, researching in a university is one particular thing, but how do you make sure that you are involving the farmers out there, because obviously they're the ones who are growers, and how do you have this liaison between the market and the field and academia?
That's a great question. I think I think that's the university should be doing.
Yes, of course.
That we actually, what we do, that we continuously engage our community and the growers. Actually, we visit actually at their places and conduct awareness seminars about the products, about how you can save your products from different diseases, and what are different varieties, how we can help them. So that's I think the awareness and reaching out to the growers, that's very important. And we're working with them very closely. And I think we have our partners like this Comstech, that they brought us here in Islamabad, and they're supporting us. And the other important partner that we have in Sargodha is Park Agro. So they are doing wonderful job in promotion and support of Kinnus and in the field. And actually what they do is that they go to growers and they ask them that give us a chunk of piece of this your orchard, like maybe 10 acres, 15 acres, and we'll take care of them.
That's not a piece of orchard, that looks like a complete orchard.
No, but you know, there are more than, I think, 100 acres.
160,000 acres that are being cultivated in Sargodha, only producing 1.5 MMT.
Yes.
But I think one of the things that I came across, a very interesting research that pointed out, was that about 60% of the farmers who are growing these orchards, the Kinnus and the oranges and the citrus and whatever we call them, they have less than 2 hectare of the area, right? And which disincentivizes them to influence the market there, to influence the prices out there, and to also market their product, right? So how can you tackle this problem? Because obviously the more land you have, the more invested you are in such a beautiful fruit and a bounty of Allah.
And if you may allow, I would like to add over here, because this will make sense now. So imagine that globally we have seen that that the per acre area or per hectare area that whatever farmer is utilizing, they are producing more now. For example, if they are producing 1 ton, now they are at 4 tons or 5 tons as well, whatever the figures may probably be. Don't you think the universities and the horticulture department can help them improve technologically so that we can actually build back better? And not just that, we produce more as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. I think this is a wonderful question. I think, what we are, as a university, we are doing that. Kinnu is one product that you can export, and then you can supply in the local market as well. But what we as a university, as a researcher, what we are doing, that we are trying to work on special economic zones, especially agro-based special economic zones.
That's wonderful.
And the first project that we have envisaged in this direction actually is the citrus processing unit, which you're talking about. We are going to establish a citrus processing unit. Inshallah, we'll be producing value-added products in which citrus is used actually. Like we can produce juices, pulps, medicines, and other related products where citrus is being used.
Finished products.
And
basically,
those products will be exported instead of exporting raw citrus. And what the benefit actually grower will get from this is, now actually what is happening, that from the grower, middleman is purchasing the Kinnu and citrus, and then they are exporting to different parts of the world. But if we have this unit, then we will directly be purchasing this citrus from the growers, right? So the maximum benefit will go to the growers who is working all the years in order to grow that particular product.
And
so
sir,
that is, and then it will also add up to the revenue and the foreign exchange of this country.
And that's exactly what we want as well. And I believe that, where we talk about 40% of the GDP is actually comes from the agriculture bit of Pakistan's economy. So let's talk about, why do you think that the grower has not yet empowered him or herself to kind of have a unit themselves and then, you know, finish a finished product for the export ready? Why don't you think that they could do it all by themselves as well? You know, so why do you think that we need a middleman? Why
Yes,
do you think
that maybe take time, because you know one thing is that they need to do some research also, R&D also.
Yep.
We can support them, but of course we need to initiate first. And we
And-
want to take it step.
Yeah, and on a lighter note, you know, this is one thing, because what I've witnessed in my life, because I'm sorry, Abu, that I'm going to talk about this, but you know, for anybody who's very bureaucratic in nature, you know, the kind of jobs that they do, you know, every time, whatever fruit season it is, you know, there will be a lot of boxes coming to your house, you know, no matter what, kisi uncle
Yes,
ne bhijwaya,
yes.
kisi ne bhijwaya. Does that happen to you too? A lot of kinnus coming your way?
Yes.
I think he's sitting in the
We brought a lot of
Sargodha and
kilos
obviously
yesterday,
that's
and we already given to our friends.
Yeah, I was thinking that, okay, you know, we might get a chance to eat some Sargodha ke kinnus today as well.
But you're always asking, you know, other people to give me this and that. Shahzad, I mean,
think
what
it's
is
just,
this? What
I
is
think I'll have
this?
to do it now. You know, you
What
pushed
is
me to
this?
the limit now. I'll have to bring in chocolates and kinos now.
Okay. So let's focus on our segment. But so let's talk about the research center that you have established, and obviously you talk about involving the local community, the farmers there, and having a very fine balance between and a liaison between the market and the academia. So now let's talk about the blood oranges which are produced in Pakistan, and I think this is one of the very finest, I would say, the fruit that is Pakistan or our land produces here. So what are some of the post-harvest studies that your university is particularly focusing on? Because like Shahzad mentioned, production, making sure that we have a good and a vibrant production is one thing, but then again there are lots of other problems, like the insect problems and whatnot.
Yes.
So
Packaging.
yes, marketing. So what are your opinion on that?
That's you are very right. This year again, this insects and its diseases has created a lot of problem for the
Locusts and
citrus.
whatnot.
But this is what we university are doing. We are creating, conducting research in this particular center. Number one, we are providing different varieties and guidance to the grower. Number two, this is the disease very rightly mentioned out how they can take care of those plants from disease, and providing them different directions, awareness, and also the guidance in which they can save the citrus from the disease.
And I think also we need to talk about the impact of the climate change on the production of these fruits, because the way we are witnessing the abnormalities in the weather pattern. So for example, we talked about how we haven't received rain. I mean, last year and this year, it wasn't back in the October, right?
Yes.
And obviously that does impact the production and the crops production. So what sort of the effects are there on the climate change? Are there the good effects? Are there the bad effects?
A lot of
Are
bad
there
effects, because you know this. There is no rain since last couple of months.
Yes.
And just we were talking about the kinnus are not very sweet. It's sometimes it's not. It's only because of this rain. If we have a rain on time, maybe in December or the first week or second week of January, I think it's very good for the citrus product and this
but
crop.
then how can we make more climate resilient fruit out there? Because these weather patterns,
This is
they're
what
going
we need
to
to
persist.
this is what we need to work out, and that's what we are looking into in our center. That what varieties are, what type of citrus we can introduce that it doesn't have an impact on the climate, doesn't have an impact
Exactly,
on that.
Right.
because we might not be, as of now, we might not have that much research, which is going to back what I'm going to just, say as of now. But I believe that with the climate change, the harvesting cycles have changed.
Yes,
for
true.
example, if something was to be grown in December, I think it has taken it to January or February
yes,
as well. So
true.
people really need to be mindful of that. But it's a great initiative that you've taken
Thank
as
you
the
so
Vice
much.
Chancellor of the University of Sargodha. Well, let's talk a little more about your university as well. So, for example, if we are to learn computers, we'll go to a computer lab. Now, when we talk about horticulture department that you've had in your university, what sort of, prerequisites do they have at their disposal? So, may it be, some agriculture land, may it be, providing them with fair opportunities, may it be providing them with, fruits which we might not be able to grow as of now. For example, we were in conversation with somebody, who brought in avocado trees, and they're doing a wonderful business. Then there was garlic, and we've seen people follow the trend. So how many times do you always, as a Vice Chancellor, provide students with opportunities which other universities might not be providing, and what are those opportunities?
No, thank you so much. I think this is a very important question that Vice Chancellor should be talking to their students.
True.
And I have introduced a series of talks every month. In which actually we share the latest research being done not only in Pakistan, all over the world. whatever new thing is coming up in the field of IT, in the field of agriculture, science, physics, chemistry, business, whatever. So I have requested my professors and teachers that let's try to share what is coming up in the world and what's new coming up in the in this field of research, right? So that is one thing I think we should be communicating to our students, and we continuously having seminars, workshops, discussion with our students, and introduce them our products.
Exactly. And then how do they receive it? Is it well received by the students?
I think in Sargodha students are very receptive, and I think they are very keen to learn actually that, because I worked in Islamabad as well and in Comstat University and Lahore as well, but the students in Sargodha, they are more receptive and they want to, it depends. I think it's there may be the family background and also the area where they have belongs. They want to learn and they want to come into big cities for their jobs and other, and they want to but you know, in university actually I would like to share some more things because you know what university should be doing.
The future plans of your university.
Yes, that's very important. You know, one thing is that you know the universities have 3-4 main functions. Like teaching is our prime responsibility that we should be doing and good. We should be doing good. Second is the research. Research. A lot of the universities are doing very good research and they are producing good number of papers and so many things. But what I think that those researches should have an impact on the society.
That's true.
That should need to be focused now on. I think we should select some of the universities in Pakistan and we request them that try to work on those projects, those research papers that actually had an impact on community.
But sir, how can we do it? Because imagine, you know, you just kind of took me back in time and I got nostalgia about when I was in university and imagine that, you know, we had to do these theses and whatnot. And there was a bigger lot of research that I did because my topic happened to be, you know, transfer of business from one generation to another. I don't know where that paper is anymore, you know.
Yes, that's I'm talking about.
How do you think we can do it?
That's why I'm talking about select only those projects which actually has an impact on society.
Right.
This is at the time of selection when you're selecting, you know, the selection of topic research is very important.
True.
It took a lot of time for the students, for the researcher as well. So that's actually research means you are searching against something.
True.
And that you can get help from the existing literature. What is the gap in the literature and then find that gap and link up with the community. That's very important. So this is one thing that we are doing in our university, that we are trying to link our researcher with the community.
Right.
And I'm trying to, I have already asked all my departments that please try to link up yourself to the community in the Sargodha, right?
So
how you can help them.
So it's more like bridging the gap as well. But
Yes.
sir, you know, you very rightfully mentioned that, you know, that our priority is to teach students. That's wonderful. I'm blessed to actually attend a university where, you know, they equally prioritize sports as well. You know, there was this amazing culture of sports over there. We would go for inter-university competitions, alhamdulillah, you know, so there were all sorts of sports. How do you think that, you know, just by not reading or making them learn the books, we can actually instill a lot of discipline in students by making sure that they play a lot as well?
Yes, that's very important. I think at Sargodha University, we are focusing a lot. And recently, our team won a lot of matches, inter-university matches all over Pakistan.
Wow.
Badminton, women team, they won that match. So I think that's very important. If you want to
And do you
keep
prioritize
them
it at
active and that
university
their
as well?
sports are very important for the students. Yes, you are very right. But I think, you know, I just was, I want to add something more.
Sure, sir.
One is that's community involvement. The second thing that university should be doing is that innovation.
Yes.
So if we talk about international community and universities, I always gave an example of Silicon Valleys.
Yeah.
So that's made by Stanford University. Why not? We can have a similar kind of Silicon Valley made by the universities. So some innovation is very important. And then actually converting that innovation into the products and commercializing those, that is again a challenge. So that's the future.
Yeah.
I think that the university should be focusing on that.
And thank you so much, sir, you know, for saying that on national television, because that's the kind of vice chancellors that we need for all the universities that are out there as well. You have spoken about education, sports, research, and how we really need to bridge the gap as well. One last question, and that is that most of the time what I've seen is that obviously, you know, universities which are ranked highly all over the globe, may it be NUST, may it be FAST, may it be LUMS, you know, other IBA, you know, all these universities, what they do is that they are their core strength is that they, you know, bridge the gap in between academia and the job market as well. So from job market, now there's a transition to business market and producing entrepreneurs. What is your university doing in addition to this, you know, for whatever
that's very important, I think, and I took the first step in that direction. I joined this university last 1 year back. So I established their incubation centers. That's the start.
Wow.
So where we actually incubate the ideas of our student startups. That is the first stage. In the second stage, I'm working on setting up a technology park. So that's very important.
yes.
Just
Yeah.
if you want to bridge the gap between the industry and academia, we must have a lot of technology parks in Pakistan and in the universities as well. Where actually in technology park, all the stakeholders are at one place. Like industry is there, students are there, government is there, the stakeholders are there. So you can communicate easily and then
Exactly.
interact with each other, and that's promotes the entrepreneurship and I think innovation and commercialization. That's the
beautiful.
future.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But sir, you know, while I'm remembering my university days, obviously because I went to a university which was actually governed by Pakistan Air Force, so there was one thing that whenever we would see our vice chancellor, we would run to our classrooms. You know, rather than going anywhere else, we would like, class mein chalo, VC sahab bahut sakht hai. What about you? How do you think a vice chancellor needs to be as a person?
The class.
I think respect
class,
is
I think
important.
class
Respect is important,
Class is important. I think that's our first priority. That student and faculty both should take very seriously the class.
Yeah.
So, but class ke saath, there are other things as important as well, of course. So
Yeah.
normally I don't create this jo aapne kaha ki dar ke bhag jate. That's not the environment.
That aura,
Yeah.
So I'm
strict
very
Friendly.
friendly with students
Mashallah.
and faculty. I think if you want to learn to the students, faculty, you should be friendly and have a good environment. Actually, you should need to convey your message.
Exactly.
That's important. You can convey in a right way,
Calm
in
hona
a friendly
chahiye,
way.
mohabbat
Calm
se
hona
ho jaye,
chahiye,
sakti
mohabbat,
se ho
pyar
jaye.
se sakti se hona chahiye. So that's I have that strategy.
Exactly.
So I work like a friendly.
That's a
Mashallah.
wonderful approach, and especially the open door policy, because I think nowadays the work environment, the education culture is changing a lot, and it is not like it used to be when we were growing up and when we were in the universities. And this is the need of the hour, and we need to do that. But thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
coming here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
having
much,
this
sir.
Thank you so much.
cross-pollination of ideas on the citrus, and it is, I think, one of the best produced fruits, and Pakistan is the 13th largest producer and exporter of the citrus fruit. And obviously, the captivating color of the oranges captivates the audiences globally, and it has been doing, I think the Sargodha University has been doing them with this particular festival that was held in the Comstech. So that's a wonderful initiative, and we will continue to talk on this particular topic. But after a short break, we have a very interesting discussion lined up, so don't go anywhere. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Welcome back, and before going on to the break, I alluded to this fact that we are going to have a very interesting discussion lined up, and that relates to the concept of the women empowerment and how actually our state is implementing the mayas to make sure that the women who are one of the marginalized segment in our society are empowered, and particularly how the women empowerment is at the interplay, at the intersection of the technology and of the chatbots, and how the entire ecosystem is being developed to make sure that our women are at par with everyone out there. So without any further ado, we would like to introduce a very beautiful guest. She is a true beauty with the brains who has graced us in the studio. We are very glad that we have been joined by Ms. Minhal Suleiman. She happens to be Chief Digital Officer at the Infocom. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for coming to our show.
Assalamu alaikum, Hajra. Thank you so much. A humble introduction.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. And you know, for our viewers in 46 different countries, can you please let us know what we were talking about so that they can grab the idea?
For sure, for sure. I believe women empowerment and technology, this is the thing that we are speaking about today, and a lot of other ideas. So I'll like to keep it very precise.
Sure, sure.
So the basic idea is that we work with the 100-day plan with the SAPM, and the main idea has been that the main drive where it came from is that women are 49% population in Pakistan.
That's true.
And there's only 1% who are contributing towards that, women-led businesses.
True.
Okay.
So imagine the kind of gap we have, the potential which are working, either working or not working in isolation. So what we came up with the plan is that especially there are changes in dynamics. For example, if we speak about pre-COVID and post-COVID, there was a culture of building multiple applications for different businesses. But sustaining and having the organic growth of downloading those applications is difficult.
True.
Especially after COVID, you must have seen there are a lot of small offices, home offices, women-led businesses now coming towards. Not only talk about, when we talk about women-led businesses, we just think about, okay, it must be, you know, some home chefs only, but women are doing wonders. If you talk about technology, if you talk about the e-commerce, Pakistan is the 7th largest market for the e-commerce industry. So we just need to tap into that, because these businesses need proper support. if they expertise just in their own product or their own service, they should not be worried about the customer onboarding. They should not be worried about the vendor management. So these sort of operational issues take a toll on them because they are not technology expertise.
True.
So this is where we come in, and the basic idea is that we should provide a proper platform. Multiple applications cannot solve the issues. There should be one platform, and under that umbrella, be it your customer, be it your vendors, be it anyone, and even financial inclusion. We are collaborating with different NGOs. We have collaborated with different fintechs and also the the payment gateways just to support this woman for this cause.
And I think you mentioned a very interesting aspect, and I would like to continue and develop a conversation on that, and which is about the payment aspect of it, right? So Pakistan has a very vibrant freelancer market scene, right? And I think that market has been a breeding ground for a lot of freelancers that has contributed globally to a very vibrant global free market landscape, right? But when we talk about the payment system, and especially when the payment is routed through the PayPal and giants like that, they are not in Pakistan. And I think that is one of the biggest hurdle in having that vibrant freelancer market, because then you have to ask some third party which is residing abroad, and then you have to ask them to reroute your money from there to Pakistan, right? So why not work on I mean, getting the PayPal inside the Pakistan? There were lots of conversation news that it is coming here, or I mean, having not just PayPal, some other third party platform from where we can have more exactly, and we can have a more financial inclusion when we talk about that.
I believe, Hajar, you have just hit the nail. It's a very, very important point, and for a reason we have developed this platform which is indigenous for the very first time in Pakistan, and that is for Pakistan. Because
That's
we try to adopt the technologies from abroad, but they are not, our infrastructure do not support this kind of, we are not, I would say, that ready.
Right.
We are on the
we
way.
Need a thirst, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And for a reason we have developed this platform which is future ready for Pakistan environment. It is tailored for Pakistan.
True.
The kind of challenges, the kind of, the stage from the technology perspective we are in, it is there to absorb that. And I believe this is the reason why we have integrated different payment gateways under one umbrella.
Right.
So
and can you explain about them?
All right.
Right.
So what we have done is that within that chatbot, be it your the account opening, your online payment gateway is powered by the the international payment gateway.
Right.
So that payment gateway will ensure, especially for women, they will also be having some investment plans under their foundation for the CSR activities which we are doing.
Wonderful.
That not only from the payment perspective, it is also their intent to invest for the women in Pakistan to ensure that they are
there are more better business ideas, people can invest in them as well. So it's more of an incubation, but an online incubation.
See, the thing is that it's a complete ecosystem, from the incubation to the business to
so we have everything in it.
Exactly.
But while we're talking about it, there's one more thing which I would love to talk about, because when we talk about technology, I think technology is no boundaries at all. So where we say that it needs to be user friendly, we must admit that it needs to be globally friendly as well.
Exactly.
So whatever technology that we are bringing, and if it is an entire ecosystem, do you think that it kind of resonates with however technology is being utilized world over?
See, world over, first of all, we must appreciate the idea which you have addressed. It should be super economical.
True.
For a reason, we understand the kind of financial challenges we are facing. The reason why we are not able to absorb the international technology is because of the payment issues, because we cannot afford it. So we have tailor-made the things which are easily affordable just for the people of Pakistan and as for the business as a whole. So it's without any you can say that technology discrimination is not happening anywhere. That is number one. Plus, it's like e-commerce. E-commerce is a huge potential. This is the area where we are focusing on. And plus, that if we just add on to the benefit that how we can empower the, rather than women be it 16 or be it 60, they can work and make money.
So is it only for women, or even men can try their luck?
I knew the question was coming.
Just
of course,
because I guess
course
people will be downloading it and people will be utilizing it. And number one, and number two, is it more of a business to business solution, or is it business to consumer as well?
All right. So, in fact, I would like to answer the second part. So, it is a B2B, business to business. For example, B2C, we have many platforms, but business to business is something that we need a proper ecosystem, and for a reason, we have this chatbot, number one. Number two, yes, we are not neglecting men. We are just trying to, empower them more. See, the thing is that we just want to load off the burden, especially in our society, men in Pakistan. They have to. I have my sympathies with them. I have my sympathies, and for a reason, not only. See,
imagine if 49% of your population. Okay, imagine if 40% of your population is not working. The rest of the work obviously needs to be doubled.
And of course, I would like to highlight the area which I personally focused, not just to enable the children to support their parents in their fee structures. Like, come on, like children are using all kind of social media better than the parents.
That's true.
Why can't they be enabled and make money through the e-commerce? So this is our idea, is that not only female, be it 16 or 60, the children above 10, there should be certain kind of campaigns. We will be working on this in near future, inshallah. Be it children above 10, we will give them some programs, we will give them some platforms with e-commerce. Then they should start contributing in their fee structure. They should start contributing in their
and that's exactly what I was thinking. So imagine that times have changed and everybody needs to kind of cope up with this as well. So imagine that we are educating our children, number one, to be good people, have some personality to them as well, and number three, so that they can actually stand on their own feet and do whatever they want to do in life. I mean, why not if they can do it at the age of 10? That's beautiful, and it's a concept that everybody needs to understand now, that that we do see a kid who's 13 years old is a millionaire probably somewhere in Western America as well. So why can't our children do that? They're not far behind. But one more thing which I would love to connect over here, and that is that where we have spoken about children and things coming together, how for anybody, for any lady who's actually listening to you right now, how can she be a part of this ecosystem? Do we have to download something? Do we have to register? What do we have to do?
All right. So we have made it like super easy. So rather than just going haywire, they can go to their their iOS and Android application. They can simply download the SMS app, and plus their different platforms.
The name of the application is
SMS app.
SMS app.
So what we have done is that there are different businesses enrolled with this. This is the application in which they just scan it, whichever use case, whichever query they are having, they can reach out to us and we can tailor-made that platform. For example, if someone wants to have an e-commerce business setup, they can reach out to us, we can develop the complete e-commerce.
Why would you have them?
Is it a free of cost thing?
See, the thing is that we are giving it, that depends, the businesses which cannot afford, that is for certain businesses, NGOs we are working, that is already free of cost for a certain period of time. But yes, there are, different businesses have different charges.
And I think we also need to talk about one of the very important fact, because of the paucity of the time, and there are so many wonderful initiatives that needs to be discussed, which is the 100 days plan by the Special Minister Prime Minister, right? So what is this plan exactly about? Let's ruminate over that.
All right. So the basic idea is about this plan is that, for example, if I talk about just about the technology, we have empowered women, like for the perspective of giving them the businesses, the artisans and all that. The investment is there, the trainings are there, but what after that? What about the women's security? Women are not working mostly, if we don't talk about, because I consider myself as a privileged. We are privileged, but yes, we have to address the the women who are not able to allowed to work out of their homes because they are not feeling secure. And for that, we have came up with the we are partners with different firms in which we are providing the IoT band. So the main idea is that within that 100 days, is that the IoT band should providing good security. One call away is your law enforcement, one call away is your payment system, one call away is your business, the life tracking. So these are the sort of empowerment via technology you need to give. It's not only just training them, it's about actually addressing what the issue of Pakistani women are and addressing them.
Exactly, and in addition to this, I'm very sorry, but do you guys like have a plan where it can be men and women both who do not feel like working at all? do you
Why are
do
you
you have
so
something to
fixated
do
on
you have
this
something to
question?
motivate them कि भाई जिंदगी में काम करो उसी से इज्जत और तरक्की मिलेगी.
Exactly. I think it goes for everyone,
Yeah.
not only men, women, even children. I include it's a huge, huge population. That even we can give them a platform. If we do not want to do anything, we can make a chatbot for do not do anything. Just seriously.
वही हाँ वो
बस वही
डाउनलोड कर
करें.
लो भाई उस पे
Exactly.
काम करो.
See, and see, the thing is, even अगर नहीं भी काम करना, there are a lot of things that they are uploading. They're having, you know, their videos, social media. We just need to educate that rather than just scrolling, just make money out of it.
And
Exactly.
I
This
think
is the idea.
so far, how has been the response of this entire ecosystem that you have been developing? And do you believe that you're targeting the target audience out there, which is particularly the women that you're talking about?
See, overall, the kind of wherever we had this discussion, be it the NGO, be it the large corporates, the response has been phenomenal.
Okay, wonderful.
Though we are at the you know, at the soft launch, because we are also the consultants. So
Okay.
consultancy is the main our forte. Because chatbot is just one of the things. Consultancy is the main thing that we are working on. See, the thing is, even if we want to incorporate any kind of technology, you might not, or the company might not have the right, or the organization might not have the right, you know, the expertise to evaluate whether this technology is the best fit or not. So we as a consultant, we come in. We just develop the complete framework as of where the policies should be, and in fact for the financial inclusion perspective and from this you know, the technology perspective, we are working with the and trying to in fact empower the idea and infuse it, that how we just need to have some regulations and policies in place, because social
Right.
media and everything
Do we have
has
some in
transformed.
place?
We do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
But this is the area where we want to focus, as you know, we want to
Right.
develop a community. Let's develop a community and come on board, because we are not here to compete. See,
True.
the thing is that time of competition is gone. It's all about collaboration.
Right, and I think one of the things that we need to address here, and I think you alluded to it in our conversation before, is the idea of the privacy, and especially when we talk about the women empowerment and how it is interlinked at the intersection of technology. So honor is a big problem, or not a problem, I would say a big social move which is embedded into our society, right? And making sure that the privacy and making sure that your data is protected. How do you do that? Because this is a global conversation, and I don't think so we have found any
Need secure
exact
clouds for
answer to that. I know cloud is insecure, secure. You know, we have seen Apple getting hacked. We have seen so many, you know, Samsung getting hacked. So how do you make sure that?
All right,
you know,
all right. So as far as cloud is concerned, it's last 5 years I worked with the MNC, and cloud is my forte. I developed the cloud market for the healthcare sector in Pakistan.
Wow.
So cloud is something like I can talk about hours for that.
Okay, that's
and I think that is the most secure thing you have as of now. So
Right.
and most robust.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
making
please
that,
continue.
obviously you need, for a reason I said, the proper technology consultants should be on board,
Okay.
who can divide this and design, have this you know, the data vaults. You can talk about different privacy levels. There's a lot of not only having the technology, it's having the SOPs and the security protocols
True.
to make it work. It's not only ducting and purchasing.
And do you think we are having enough conversations regarding that?
We need to.
Okay.
This is something we need to have more conversations.
That's a missing
on.
gap.
And in
yes.
recent times, you know, ladies and gentlemen, those companies which we label as unicorn are actually those companies which are working or providing solutions for cloud security as well. You know, so I have a lot of friends of mine, you know, who are working on that. Not just that, you know, a Pakistani company, a Pakistani brand has actually launched their own cloud solutions as well. So you
Yes,
can certainly
yes,
subscribe to that, and certainly keep the data within Pakistan. I don't think whether it's a great idea to kind of have, you know, a cloud somewhere else, and you know, all of your data in there, and it gets hacked, and then unfortunately there's so many papers which come out. A lot of people will face a lot of difficulties. We certainly do not want to do that as well. But thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Lovely
Thank you
to
so
be in
much, Ryan.
conversation
Thank you
with
so
you, and the
much.
kind of work that you guys are doing will be appreciated for days to come
Thank you
and
so
for the
much.
future
Thank you.
generations. On all the mothers who will feel empowered, their children will thank you as well. So thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you
that.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
And I
much.
think we had a wonderful and lovely conversation regarding women empowerment and how it is at the intersection of technology, which is the new thing. And there's lots of conversations that are being held, and obviously being Pakistani, being part of this global community, we need to focus on all of these conversations, because this is what globalization is all about, digitalization is all about. And in the days to come, we hope and pray and see a more vibrant, digitally vibrant Pakistan. So with that, once again, thank you so much for coming to our show and for having these conversations. And with that, we will say Allah Hafiz, bid you farewell. And until next time,
It's a good morning. Good morning. Have a great day.